It's too late. So we're not here. So the topic of today is writing better business and improving your ADT. So topic number one was doing the sales conversation the right way. Topic number two is working with business owners and their employees. When you ask for referrals, you shall receive. We are not here just to protect the first person we see at a business. Yes, it's like a read option, just like in football. When you walk into a business, it's literally a read option play where you're probably going to try and sit down with that very first person. And if they buy it, great. If not, it's no big deal. But at the end, you got to get that skill set on transitioning to showing it to their other employees. Because if you sign that person up, whenever you can transition to showing it to the other employees, and one or two of their employees sign up, that's good. That's good because people buy on the approval of others. And when you get that first person signed up in that business, your closing percentage for their other employees is much higher. But you must get really good at sitting down with the business owners and then transitioning to working with their employees. Number three is the types of businesses that you're selling to. So I will be honest, if you've been here longer than 3 months, you have probably got a cancellation or a non-sufficient fund come back. Okay, it's going to happen to everybody. Okay, but you got to also understand that you got to limit yourself. There are definitely certain types of businesses that have a higher cancellation rate. Okay, if you're in your first 30 days, go to every business. You just need to get your first 100 demos done as fast as you possibly can. Now, when you've been here longer than 30 days, you got to understand that if all you want to do is go into a Dollar General, any dollar store, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, that's not good business. A lot of those people, their income, they may be making $8 to $10 an hour. They're not going to be on the books very long. Now, if you're protecting just the manager only, that's one thing. But when you start going down the ladder, you're going to have a higher cancellation at Boost Mobile, gas stations, fast food. I haven't been into a gas station one time in my career here. 10 years. I never will. Okay. So those kind of businesses are going to have a higher cancellation. Nursing homes, right? Jiffy Lube. These are just a few examples. I could go on for days, but mom and pop stores, people are on salaries, they stay on the books longer. So if you're getting a lot of cancellations, also look at the type of businesses that you're protecting and also the age, people between age, and this is from corporate, not for me, people between ages 18 to 22 years old, it's okay to get them protected, but people that sign up for insurance, supplemental insurance between age 18 and 22 is the highest cancellation rate nationwide in Family Heritage. Okay. So if all you're signing up is a bunch of 20-year-olds that work at cash registers or fast food places, you're going to have a higher cancellation rate. Just got to understand that. Because usually they're not the managers of the business. Usually they're not the owners. So leveling yourself up and getting out of your comfort zone to going to the bigger businesses, right? You got to start somewhere. And Austin explains this very well in the Elevators podcast. Yeah, he got dominated by law firms. He probably went to 30 to 40 law firms. But guess what? After going to enough, he eventually protected that one law firm. And then once that first domino fell, they all started to fall. Same thing with me with getting into a real estate company. Once I got inside my first one, it was game over. Got inside like 30 more very soon after that, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. You level yourself up and then eventually work with all those other types of businesses, right? So eventually one domino will fall and then the rest will fall. But the types of businesses do play a big difference in the amount of cancellations you're going to get. Now, again, if you're in your first 30 days, yes, we go see every single person. But think about when you're driving through your area, you're going to see a lot of businesses. You're going to see from City Hall, you're going to see DSS, you're going to see the health department, big schools, factories. There has to be a supplemental insurance agent for those companies. Why let Aflac do that? Why not you? So start thinking big. Like, hey, man, if there's going to be somebody that's going to represent all these businesses, I'm driving to hospitals, why not you? Somebody has to be the supplemental insurance agent. Why let Aflac be the agent for them when our products have return of premium and they're significantly higher end than Aflac? You just got to think big and act big and understand that you got to mirror your territory and understand that over time, you're going to be working with all these different types of businesses. Okay. So working with business owners and their employees and leveling yourself up so you can work inside all different types of businesses. And to be able to work with all different types of businesses, you do got to know, like point number one, you do got to know your sales conversation very well. So number three, I'm sorry, that was number three. Number four is reservicing. If you want to make sure your clients stay on the books, this is a very big part of our business. We could do a whole topic on this, but number four is reservicing. Getting that skill. It's a skill that you have to develop at going back to your clients no longer than 90 days later. And just, you got to understand that if you're not chirping in their ear, guess who is? If you're not talking to your clients, if you're not spending time, if you're not investing into your clients, guess who is? Aflac and Colonial is. They're trying to flip them over back to them. The grass is greener where you water it. So you must give your clients attention. It's good. It pays it back tenfold. Actually, this is a great story. I literally have a little small enrollment today at a dentist's office that I protected a guy at a real estate company, and his wife works at a dentist's office. I've never met her. I told him to say good things. I went there. This is right before the Trade War week. I reserviced him, so I got him protected months ago. Actually, it was a couple years ago. I went back there a few months ago, just added on to his coverage, met some of the other employees there, got them signed up as well, and asked where his wife works at. She works at a dentist's office right down the street. And boom, I got a little enrollment set up just by going in there, talking to her real quick, talking to the office manager, and doing a lunch and learn today, right? It was all from reservicing her husband, that I sold about 3 years ago. And then went back to reservice him just a couple months ago and just made it happen. But you must reservice your clients at least once a year. The first year, always go back and see them about 90 days later. You want to go back and see about 90 days later just to get them really excited about what they have, show them how to use the coverage, and then possibly add on other policies. Add on a cancer policy or a heart or accident, whichever one they didn't get, you can add it on. And then it gives you a great ability to transition to the other new employees or employees that you didn't get to sit down with 3 months ago. Like, hey, I never got a chance to sit down with Arnold. Is he here right now? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And then guess what? Your closing percentage where they got Arnold, they didn't see with 3 months ago is 90%. When you're sitting down with new employees, it's like a 90% closing percentage. Why would you want to go do 100% cold calling forever when you go back and reservice your clients every single month and have a 90% closing percentage? Right? So make sure that's part of your weekly activities. If you've been here longer than a month, you can start reservicing some of your clients from your very first week. It's smart, working smart. So reservicing is a massive, we could talk for 2 hours about reservicing, how powerful it is. But that is number four, getting that skill developed of reservicing your clients, going back and shaking hands with the cool people that already bought from you. They love you. Number five, to writing good business and business that stays on the books is thank you cards. Writing out thank you cards to your clients will definitely give them that personal touch. So you can go to Amazon and just, spend $50 on thank you cards on several hundred. That'll get to your house in 1 day from now. And every weekend, just, writing out a quick thank you card to your clients. So if you got 5 clients this week, take about 5 or 6 minutes to write a quick little note on each thank you card and just put a stamp on it, put it in the mailbox, and you're good to go. That client will be on the books longer because you did that 100%. People that send thank you cards, their ADT ratios are much higher than people that don't do it. Do you have to do it? No. But if you do it, it's going to pay your back tenfold. The 50 or $100 a year you spend on thank you cards, you're going to save thousands and thousands of dollars because people are going to stay with you. Having that personal touch, and also not just thank you cards to clients, but if there's like a business that you want to get inside and you sat down with the HR director or the owner and they're still thinking about it, whether they're going to let you in and talk to their employees or not, send them a thank you card just for their time to sit down with you. Okay. We've had so many agents do that. And then that was the green light. They're like, hey man, thank you for sending that card. Yeah. Like I can tell you're super professional. I'm definitely going to let you take care of all my employees. So if you really want to get inside certain businesses, send thank you cards to the owners or directors you've already sat down with and show them that you have that personal touch. Super professional. So that was number 5, is sending out thank you cards to your clients. Number 6 is running your business like a business. Running your business like a business. So what this means is being on top of all your cancellations. So when you get, so if you're brand new, this is how you look at your cancellations. Okay, you obviously can get text messages, the email every single night at 7 o'clock Eastern time, but also just go into FHL Connect, click on Sales Professional Home, Agent Reports, and then the third column down is, your agent register. Click on that, and then click on the agent register. They actually send one out each day now. Okay, it used to be just once a week. Now it's on a daily basis on the right side. And see which one of your clients are active. If there is a pinned, if there is a withdrawal, if there is an insufficient fund or bad banking information or account closed. And then at the very bottom, it shows you if there are claims paid out to your clients. That's my favorite part. Whenever I see that we have claims paid out to my clients, one of my clients yesterday just got paid out on an accident policy. When I saw that last night, I was like, man, that's, obviously I don't hope my clients get injured or have cancer, but it makes me feel good that we're doing exactly what we say we're going to do. And I had the courage to go get it protected, and it makes me feel good. It gives me peace of mind at night. So just running your business like a business, staying on track on all your reports. I had a cancellation at the end of last week. I saved it yesterday with the phone call. Okay. I called a couple of my clients that I've canceled, and I saved one of them, Mrs. Howard. She bought all 4 policies. It was about $140 a month, about a year and a half ago. And this is how that conversation went, just to kind of, show you guys kind of what it sounds like. Hey, Jennifer, it's Kyle. Your agent with Family Heritage. You actually bought supplemental insurance from me about a year and a half ago. Do you remember me? Perfect. Awesome. Well, hey, do you still have, I just real quick question. Do you still have your policies active with us, or does something happen? She's like, oh yeah, I had to cancel it. No big deal. Was it more just you didn't want it, or is it just more financial reasons? She says, oh, financial reasons. I haven't got a raise in 4 years, Kyle. Like, I like this policy. I haven't got a raise in 4 years. No big deal, Mrs. Howard. Well, here, this is what we can do. There's a couple of different options we can do. Okay, you can definitely keep it canceled. But honestly, what most people, about 98% of people do, is they just adjust their coverage. I will remind you, so you were paying about $140 a month for the last 18 months. So, $140 a month over 18 months is about $2,500. That's $2,500 that is in your return of premium account. Okay, that's, part of your retirement, right? You get your money back in 25 years. I don't want you to lose all that money. Okay, so if you cancel it and it stays canceled longer than 30 days, you're going to lose all that money you paid into it. I do not want that to happen, Mrs. Howard. So what we can do is we can adjust your coverage. So you were paying at $140 a month because you had preferred across the board for all 4 policies. What we can do, what most people do, is just adjust the coverage 1 or 2 notches down for now while you're in a bad financial situation. And then we can always increase it up later on down the road whenever you get back on your feet. And then I just went to the product matrix, typed in her age. I was like, hey, right now you're paying $140 a month. We were able to get it down to $64 a month just by going down 1 notch. And we did go down a couple notches in some of the policies. I was like, hey, does that work out for you? She's like, oh my gosh, that's great. I can do $64 a month. So I was able to get that fixed, right? I was able to save the cancellation just by that quick phone call. But, she had canceled about 24 hours earlier. So being on top of it soon, you have a much higher chance of saving these cancellations, guys. And you're saving hundreds of dollars a month or a week by doing this, which over the course of a year, it's tens of thousands of dollars. Like, that's massive for your business. That's your retirement, guys. The renewals, you work here for 10 or 20 years, it's going to be way more than any 401k or Roth area you can have. Okay, so the power of what we do, guys, for long-term wealth is massive, but you got to get that skill of doing that. And you can't be scared to call your clients after they cancel, or if you know where they work at, just go stop by and see them. Obviously, doing it in person is even easier than doing it over the phone. Okay, but make sure that you do that and stay on top of your cancellations as soon as you possibly can. If it says account closed, that just means that they switch bank accounts, and that happens. That happens about once a month to one of my clients. You just got to give a quick phone call, update the bank info. Those are easy fixes, but you must do that pronto or you may lose that client. And that's your residual income, right? So that's number 6, is just running your business like a business. And last but not least, number 7 is having conviction when you're solidifying the sale with your clients. Having conviction when you're solidifying the sale. So, at the end of solidifying the sale, you obviously kind of tell them, they're going to get their original it's going to come out in about 3 days, and then it's going to come out on that draft date. When it comes to our checking account, there, there's, if they bought all 4 policies, there's 4 different drafts, and it says family heritage when it comes out. Now, Mrs. Howard, there's 2 reasons why you should never cancel this kind of insurance. Can you think of one of those 2 reasons why? And whatever she says, you agree, like, yep, that's accurate. And really the biggest reason why do you think you would never want to cancel your accident or your cancer policy? What do you think usually happens to people when they cancel their accident insurance? Yep, that's when something happens. Like everybody says, you've heard this before, Ms. Howard, you always get a flat tire when you don't have a spare, right? The second reason why you don't want to cancel it is because you're going to lose your savings that you worked so hard for. You're going to lose all the savings that you built up with us. This is part of your retirement portfolio, Mrs. Howard. This will be a game changer for you and your family 25 years from now when you stay healthy, because you're going to get 100% of your money back tax-free. And if you ever use the coverage, you're going to be, well taken care of. Now, Mrs. Howard, so when you close a sale today, when you get a family protected today, be like, hey, so Mrs. Howard, so right now you're paying $140 a month. That's great coverage. Hopefully over time you can add on to your portfolio, maybe add on the heart policy that you didn't get today. However, though, if you're ever in a bad financial situation, like a dire situation where you may have lost your job, or your husband has lost your job, or you may go bankrupt, I totally understand. But do your dead level best not to cancel. Just call me first, and we can adjust the level of coverages down, but never cancel this. When you tell your clients you can always adjust, but don't cancel, and to reach out to you, that's powerful. You want to stick and stay and make it pay, but never cancel. And then write that down in the brochure, stick and stay and make it pay. And then write down on the brochure that they bought the return of premium amount. So they're paying $140 a month. Tell them how much that's going to be in 25 years. Like this is a massive part of your retirement portfolio, Mrs. Howard. Stick and stay and make it pay. So when you say that at the sale, at the time of a sale, their chances of canceling goes way down. Okay. And they're going to make it work into their budget, and it's going to become a habit, right? So just those little last things you do at the very end of a sale, and that's all in the sales talk, it's very powerful. So guys, those were the 7 things to make sure you write better business that stays on the books. Those are some technical points. There's some mental standpoints, working with higher end business owners. We're gonna pause there. Any questions or comments so far?
I just want to make a comment, guys. If you have not set up for you to get the text messages, at least on your cell phone, you need to do that right now as soon as we get off the call. That is something that should be set up with every agent as soon as you start, because that's telling you when a policy goes active. Just like Kyle said, it's going to tell you when something terms. And if you're not looking at your daily agent register on the daily basis, or at least every other day, there's so much that you're missing on if they have insufficient funds. Not to like brag on Alyssa or anything, but I mean, I have trained her to where she looks at that every other day, every day. And if someone's got an insufficient fund, she's going ahead and calling them and saying, hey, we're going to attempt to draft you again on Friday. Make sure you have the money in the account, because you don't want to lose this. So like Kyle said, this is honestly your future when you look at these residual incomes. So if anyone has a question on how to set up the text message alerts, you can send me a text. I'll show you how to do it. But it takes 2 seconds to get that done, and that is very important. So that's it, Kyle.
Thanks, Brandon, for sharing that.
Hey, I wanted to point out too, Kyle, that the on those cancellations and terms, they following up on them, like account close, those type things. A lot of these folks, if it's insufficient funds, they know it's insufficient funds. But if it's account closed, they may have changed the account number, which I ran into the other day with one of my clients, and just called him, and he thanked me for calling him, forgot about it, and set it up on his new account and connected him with customer service, and everything was great.
There you go. That's correct. Some people don't even know that. Yes, Anthony.
Yeah. So if it shows term on, like, say it's a bank account closed, do you have to actually resubmit a whole application, or can we just call
No.
customer service to get that updated?
Well, they
Is
just
that you,
called,
Greg?
he just called customer service. If you catch it early enough, when they call them,
Correct.
all they have to do is give them their account update their payment that they missed, and they're just continuing on.
Yeah, that is a kind of a situational thing, Anthony, depending on how fast it was, how fast the turnaround time on getting it activated. Sometimes just a letter can reactivate clients. Sometimes if it's been a certain amount of time, you got to, actually put it back into the mobile sales app.
It needs to be within 30 days of that policy.
Yep. So if you do it within 30 days, you can do it without having to resubmit everything. So make sure you get on top of it, guys, because you can save a lot of business every single month. And this is thousands and thousands of dollars. But also, guys, understand that, that, like I said, I think it was point number 3 or 4, the types of businesses you're going into. Once you've been here for, a month or two, you've already got 100, 200 demos. Like, leveling yourself up and getting out of your comfort zone and going to those other businesses. So if you've been super scared to go talk to that law firm, real estate agent, big factory, whatever it may be, go talk to them. What's the worst that can happen? Somebody's got to be that agent. Why not you? I tell everybody, I'm gonna let Aflac in my territory that I work, they can go sell to all the Dollar Generals. They can go sell to all the fast food, the Domino's, but I want to get everything else, right? So they can go protect those people. I want to get everything else, right? So make sure, guys, that we're leveling ourselves up, and that makes you better. Okay, it may be scary at first talking to the higher income producers, clients, but I promise you it makes you better. And then when you go back and talk to like the middle income, it's so much easier because you've been talking to higher income people all the time, right? So it just levels you up and it levels the playing field. So that's a huge part of this too, guys. So we're going to wrap up. It is Whopper Wednesday, and guys, we're on track to have a great week again. So let's make sure, we're coming down the home stretch of Puerto Vallarta. So we've only got, really 3.5 weeks left. So let's go be the best version of ourselves, do our dead level best. And we'll see you guys. I will say this for Schneider Agency's agents. We have one of the top 25 agents as our guest speaker tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on my Zoom call. So you definitely want to be on. You want to, have some good news for yourself. We got the #1 rookie of the year in the Santos agency as our guest speaker tomorrow that I'm super duper excited about. So make sure that we have some good news so we can crush it tomorrow on the 8 a.m. Zoom. So you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Woo! Thanks, Kyle.